Hello everyone, welcome to our daily oracle reading, and our oracle deck for today is about the Archangel animal oracle cards, and our spirit animal for today is the butterfly. Now, if you would notice, the butterfly is a symbol of personal transformation. If you would try to observe, if you have read or if you have looked at our previous videos of the oracle readings for the past 2 days, they all speak of transformation. 2 days ago, we had the blue flame, which speaks of spontaneous awakening, which is a personal transformation. And then yesterday, we spoke also of career change, which is a result of also a transformation that is undergoing a personal transformation. So it seems like for the past 3 days, the messages that we are receiving is about personal transformation. So those who are watching the videos for the past 3 days, maybe you should be open to these insights that you are receiving, maybe especially when you are undergoing personal transformation at this present time. You might get some insights regarding your personal transformation journey at this present time, or just be open to it, because it might mean also that in the near future you will be undergoing some personal transformation. If you have just undergone some transformation in the recent past, then maybe these insights will make you understand what you have just experienced. So now when we look at the spirit animal butterfly, it's a very good symbolism of transformation. It's when you look at a caterpillar, which is at the start of its life, is preoccupied with just eating leaves, going about the trees and the plants in the environment, just eating. It's like a person who is just preoccupied with the daily requirements of survival, the daily activities of life. They're just preoccupied with the usual worldly activities. And then suddenly they undergo transformation. Suddenly something happens that make them realize that a change is undergoing in them. So they stopped their usual daily activities and they start to stay only in one area, sort of like undergoing a hermit mode. And as they undergo a hermit mode, they start to produce a cocoon that shields them from the worldly activities. And in that hermit mode, in that moment of solitude, where they are shielded from the activities of the world, they undergo extreme transformation. And the transformation is not an easy process. It's a wonderful adventure, but at the same time, it requires some sacrifices also, some changes within you. And these changes are oftentimes not seen by the world, something that is hidden from the world, because the things that are happening with you are external, are internal, and are not often seen externally. Okay, so these are internal changes that are happening with you. You might be going through your daily activities as if it's still normal, but the world is not aware that deep inside you, something is already happening. There are a lot of changes already happening in you, but it is not seen in the external world. So the changes or the transformation that you were undergoing is something that is very much internal. And when you are about to have this completion of this transformation that you have, it's not an easy process also. It's you have to slowly exert your own effort to get out of the pupa that you have been accustomed to stay in for a long period of time. So during your hermit mode, you created a certain pupa that you have undergone, and the process of getting out of that solitude is also not an easy process, but it is a process that you really have to undergo. Because if a butterfly who does not exert an effort to get out of it will have weak muscles in their wings, and they will not be able to fly, they will end up becoming a deformed butterfly. So for example, if there is a caterpillar in a pupa who is about to go out, you do not forcibly remove the pupa. The butterfly has to undergo the process of getting out of the pupa itself, because if the caterpillar does not, or the newly transformed butterfly does not go out of the pupa on their own, then their wings will be weakened and they won't be able to come out as the beautiful butterfly they are intended to undergo. So oftentimes when we undergo transformation, we have to undergo through it, or go through it on our own. We have to develop our spiritual muscles. We cannot be spared of the process of the transformation. We need to go through the transformation and endure the challenges that we face along the way, in order for us to have that spiritual muscles that we need, so that when we are transformed into the new person that we are being called to be, we will be able to stretch our wings and fly with great strength. And when you look at it, when a caterpillar suddenly transformed to a butterfly, they say that once the butterfly is fully transformed, its existence is not very long. They will become a butterfly and flourish into the world, bring beauty and light to the world, but it will be a process that will be limited. They will also die afterwards. So for us also, it's the same thing. There will always be this process of staying in this world, living our life. Is not something that will be complete. I mean, there will be always death waiting for us in the end. But the beauty about it is to be like a butterfly that lives every moment to the full. The beauty of a butterfly is once it has been transformed into a butterfly, it flies through the garden lightly. It's going through the land gently. I like to look at the butterfly as something who goes through the environment so gently that they seldom cause harm to everything around them. In fact, they touch every flower ever so gently, that they preserve the beauty of the flower, but at the same time they propagate the species of the plant, because when they fly from one flower to another, they also transport the species by going from one flower to another. They promote growth also, and they are very beneficial to the environment. So it's the same for us also. Maybe for you who have undergone transformation, you are called also to walk gently through the land and at the same time be beneficial to the land. When you are overflowing with the presence of the divine, your life transforms not only yourself, but also transforms the environment around you. You become very beneficial to everything around you, the whole of the creation and the whole of the universe. You have a very special contribution about it, and you go through life lightly, gently. It's as if your presence is something that is so welcomed, and your presence is something that becomes beneficial to everything, and that you walk through life gently. You are no longer as destructive as you can be. When you look at a caterpillar, I mean, they could consume a lot of leaves in a plant, that it can endanger the plant in a certain sense. Maybe if there are a lot of caterpillars in that plant, if there are more than one caterpillar, they can be destructive. But a butterfly, when it goes to a plant and gets its nectar from the flower, it touches the flower so gently that it seldom causes any damage to its petal and everything. So it was after it had undergone some transformation, it suddenly has this certain form of gentleness in them. Like the phoenix, which lives for 500 years, and suddenly at the end of its life, it bursts out into flame, and bursts out into brilliant flame, and then afterwards it is reborn again. It's the same time also with the butterfly. After the butterfly has been transformed from a caterpillar to a pupa into a complete butterfly, it's like a phoenix that brings light to the world for a short period of time, and afterwards the life ends and a new life begins, a life after this life. And it would be nice that before we end a life here, we are becoming beneficial to the world. We give the world that special gift that only you can give. Everyone has a special purpose for being in this world. And I believe that that special purpose, all of us are called to give something very, very positive, something very beautiful to the world. And the invitation for us is to give it with love, with generosity, and with tenderness, lightness, just like that of a butterfly. Well, I hope that this has been helpful to you, especially those who have been undergoing transformation. I invite you to watch the previous two videos, the one about the blue flame and about changing careers. They might help you, especially if you are at present time undergoing personal transformation. It's not easy to undergo personal transformation. I understand. You feel changes within you, not only spiritually, not only emotionally, not only intellectually, but at the same time also physically. Some of you might be experiencing certain things that you cannot understand. But don't worry, you will be guided. There will be people who will be guiding you. It could be somebody who is a person who has undergone the experience that you are undergoing, or it could be somewhere in the spiritual realm. As you go inside yourself and open yourself to the promptings of the Spirit, you will find yourself guided along the way. You will become more sensitive to the touches of the divine. It's a very, very exhilarating experience to undergo spontaneous transformation, but at the same time, it's going to be a very challenging one also. But I mean, life becomes more interesting when we experience its lights and shades. That's what makes life colorful and an experience that we will always cherish, especially when we look back at them sometime in the future. Well, that's it for now. Until next time, have a great day.